Hey everybody, welcome back to Live. Uh was just testing my mic there. Seems to be working. Hope everybody's doing well today. Just gonna turn down the fan here a bit. I love having it on and the noise canceling does filter it out, but it's a balance. I mean I'm in my own office in the basement, but like when I live stream I close the door so it can heat up even though it's not a bad size room. I think it's like 8 by 10. Um, Anyway, hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, back from Labor Day weekend. First day back was yesterday. I don't know. It's always nice when there's a long weekend. It's like, oh, it's Wednesday already. Nice. Anyways, uh, yeah. So we're gonna continue working on Swole MCP. So let me just bring us over to pairing view here for a minute. And why is it showing that? It's not bad that it's showing that, but it's not my background that I currently have that I wanted to show. But let me see here. Let me just see if I can refresh the screen. Main monitor. There we go. Let's BenQ, that's right. I'm gonna switch it for a second here, or let's do this. Let's do window capture. Yeah, that'll disappear. Let's go display capture. There we go. It's just cached or something. I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to show off this bad boy. So if you're gonna be, I don't know if I'll have these for commit your code, but if you're going to all things open, definitely swing by the Pomerium booth, not booth, because we'll have these bad boys. There'll definitely be stickers of this. There could be other things. I won't say much more. But and for context, if people are like, okay, yeah, that's just a cool dog picture. Um, a lot of people have problems saying Pomerium. I didn't know how to pronounce it when I started working there or when I was interviewing, so I get it. But a lot of times people say they're like primarium, like even when you generate subtitles and stuff, it usually says primarium, I think. Sometimes people call it Pomeranian, so we kind of just went with that and said like, hey, let's make some stickers with some badass Pomeranian that looks like he's straight out of Top Gun or something, or like I don't know, he just did a hit, or like could be like Ryan Gosling and Drive. Who knows? Anyways, I love this sticker that is gonna drop. So definitely come say hi to me if you want one of these at all things open for sure. Can't guarantee for commit your code. Um, if you're at the MCP Dev Summit, I might have them at that point. Not sure, but we'll see. And if you're at GitHub Universe, I'll try to make sure to have some of those too. So, anyways, so what the heck are we doing, right? So like we've been talking about MCPs just a lot. I mean, people in general do. So I've been building some MCPs for a few reasons. Uh, at Pomerium, we're good at securing agentic access, and we have like native support for securing MCP servers. So in a nutshell, um, what Pomerium is it's an identity aware proxy. I won't go too deep into that right now, but basically just think of it as something that's constantly verifying every request. And so like if you're on a website, you go try and hit some URL, it's going to go through Pomerium, potentially, assuming they're using it, obviously. You're going to be redirected to an identity provider to do your login. The login happens if it's if it's successful, then there's something in the identity aware proxy called a policy engine, and that checks like, okay, Nick's logged in, but is he allowed to access the resource he's trying to get to? And the policies, they can be super complex or super simple. It's really whatever your org decides. But an example of it is like, is your email from the pomerium.com domain? So that would mean only people who work at Pomerium can access this particular resource. That's an example. You could do from the claims you get back, groups. It could be time based. It could be based on device, etc. Uh, but anyways, all those things together with the login, if that all checks out, then you go through the proxy part, and that takes you to the internal resource, which is the actual thing. And I'm saying all this because in the context of MCP servers, hey Roxy, always love when you come hang. Appreciate it. Yeah, so that Pomerium image, that Pomeranian, um, I should those stickers will definitely be at All Things Open. I can't remember if you're making it to All Things Open or not. I don't know if I'll have any for commit your code. Okay, you're gonna be there, so I mean, I'm gonna see you obviously then. I'll definitely hook you up with some stickers, and we might have other Pomeranian related things. But full disclosure, we are not giving away dogs. That I'm sure PETA would be all over that. Like, hey, we shipped 20 dogs in a crate to a conference. Yeah, dang it. Sorry. I don't know. Maybe you could 3D print a Pomeranian. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So like I was saying about all that stuff about an identity aware proxy, in the context of model context protocol, uh, in the case of remote MCP servers, so model context protocol MCP, yeah, definitely not as floofy. Um, it just fits really well with an identity aware proxy. So think of it as like an application gateway, and because remote MCP servers run at the application layer like HTTP, even though we're not an AI company, we've been doing this for a while now. It just naturally fits. So you get OAuth out of the box because of the identity aware proxy, and also if you have upstream services, so like for example, you have an MCP server that maybe it schedules I don't know, one-on-ones for you for coffee chats or something, so it needs to connect to your calendar and say Google. That's an upstream service that you need to create an OAuth application for that you can't escape. But the whole implementing an OAuth in your MCP server is not necessary. All you need to do with us is, I think I'm making a funny face because I'm about to burp potentially, but um, essentially, you just have to give that config. So the stuff you get for the OAuth application, so like your client ID, your client secret, any scopes and stuff, and you just configure that, and then basically what happens is with the MCP server, and I should probably just load this up actually, although I could stare at the Pomeranian all day. Let's see here. Let's come over here. Let's go to the MCP app demo. And if we come down here, let's go. Yeah. So essentially, for those less familiar with identity aware proxies, you define routes. We have a UI version of this too in our Pomerium Zero offering, which has a free tier. And we obviously have an enterprise version. But if you just use YAML, this is in the open core version. Big fan that we're open source at heart. So essentially, you're saying like, I want to go to this particular URL. This is what you would access in the web browser, for example. And then everything I mentioned about the identity aware proxy would kick in. And then once you're logged in and the policy checks pass, you would be redirected to this internal resource. So in this case here, it's an MCP server. So this is like a GitHub example. And the stuff I was talking about for the OAuth application, you would just basically configure this stuff here. So you have an MCP config section, and then this is a server, not a client. So you just put in all that OAuth application info there. And then let's see if I can zoom this in one more. Okay, so I might have to zoom down because those little bars here hide it. But uh, essentially, the flow that happens is, so like, say you're using Goose from the people over a block, or VS Code, or like the MCP demo app, which is what I use a lot, which is this repository. What happens is when you want to use an MCP server, you have to register it with the MCP client. So like in VS Code, for example, you'd say like, let's do this live, I guess. Well, I'll show that in a second. But what I want to mention is, so you're gonna register it, and what the MCP client gets back once you're registered is just this short-lived token that comes from Pomerium, and that's what the MCP client has access to in terms of accessing your MCP server. Um, that's the phase when there's no upstream service. But if you do have an upstream service like the Google Calendar, like I was mentioning, it would be like this scenario. And so when you go to register, or sorry, when you go to authorize like Google to access your calendar, which is the upstream service, it's going to do that whole OAuth flow, and it's going to return a token. Now, normally MCP clients would get back that token, and that's potentially dangerous because that's like literally your a Google token. And it's not to say that you know somebody's got Goose running, Goose is going to do something nefarious, but it just in terms of security, it's better to give something with less access. So we store that token for you from the upstream service. It never goes past the Pomerium gateway, and all that the MCP client gets is this short-lived token, just like the other scenario. So that's kind of how it works. And so, like, if we do open up VS Code here, um, let's doesn't matter what project I'm in. This is auto show, which is something I'm streaming with my buddy Anthony on Friday. But let's go to let's see here. Gonna go to my MCP server configuration. Okay. Is it not in there? Okay, so I'm gonna go add one, and I'm gonna show you the flow. So let's do a new chat here and zoom this over, and I'll zoom in. Okay. Now, okay, so let's add a new server. So I got to get the server. So give me a sec here. Dev to MCP. Yeah, this is what I need. Give this a second. So this is from the Pomerium MCP app demo, but I'm just getting the URL for my MCP server, and I'll explain stuff in a second here. So I'm in VS Code, but you could do this in Goose as well. I already have it set up in Goose, but let's add it here. And I'm going to say, I can't zoom in this part, I don't think. Actually, it's web. Yeah, it should be able to zoom in. There we go. Okay. So the type of MCP server I'm adding is the newer one. So it's HTTP streamable. And this is a remote MCP server. I'm going to put the URL, which is this one, dev2.mcp.maisonlab.dev. I'm going to give it a name. I'll just call it dev2mcp. And I'm going to make it global. Just doesn't get added to some special project file. It's just available everywhere. So now the MCP server is added. Now you're going to see here, it's going to ask me to do the OAuth flow. So I'm going to say I need to allow this. Now it's probably going to log me in automatically. You're not going to see a authorized thing because I've already done this before, but I'm going to say allow. Of course, it's a demo, so it's going to not work. But um, if we come back here, this usually works. I don't know why sometimes it doesn't. Sure. There we go. It seemed to do it now. Okay, so now if we look over here, I have this new MCP server dev2, and if we go to that directly, we can see what tools it has. So like if we go in the browser, you're going to see, okay, so this is like telling you what my MCP server is. So that's great. We're connected in VS Code now. And so from here, I can ask stuff like, so the dev2 MCP server is this bad boy over here. Where is it? Drop a link to it. And yes, we will get to Swole MCP. It's just this, it's a bit of build up to get to it, I guess. But I always like to kind of recap stuff. Sometimes there's newer people on the stream. Just always not a bad idea to just MCP and stuff. So let's just drop this over on LinkedIn as well. Cool. So yeah, so it's this MCP server. This is something I built how long ago? Oh, it's already been 2 months. Wow. So this allows you to interact with Dev2. So this website. So let's come back to VS Code. And so I don't know if you're on Dev2 at all, Roxy, or not. If you are, feel free to drop your username. But if not, don't sweat it. I'll use my own. So I can say stuff like, get me the latest React articles. Now it's going to start working. And you're going to see here, it's going to start calling my dev2 MCP server. I'll, I'm just going to say always allow because I trust this one. And you're going to see what happened here. I'll just kind of show it in a second here. It's obviously spitting out the articles and stuff here, but you can see here it actually made a tool call and it passed in this info. It knew from natural language that I said, get me the latest React articles. So it knew to look for articles tagged with React. I didn't specify a username, so it didn't add one. And then basically the output is coming from the dev2 API, but I'm returning it in the MCP server tool. And then we get this list. So like if I click on one of these, it should in theory open Eugene's article, which it does. So that's pretty cool. Um, and like we could do another one. We could just say like get Nikki T onlines. You can't say people's names because there's probably more than one person and it would have no way to know what their username is. But you could say like get Nikki T onlines latest articles on MCP. I don't know if I have anything tagged with that. So let's see what it's going to run here. So it's going to just say, okay, so it's getting my articles, and then it's probably going to make another. Okay, so it didn't actually look for MCP. I don't think. Yeah, it just did that. So this is okay, but this just means I need to improve the tool call because essentially I mapped it one to one with the API, which is not necessarily a good thing. Initially, it seemed like a good idea, but for example, here, I would have expected it to call the other one with my username, so like MCP for the tag and then my username. So, anyways, that's not what we're working on today, but just kind of wanted to show the flow of working with MCPs and stuff. Okay, cool. Let me just go ahead and check some chat here. What's going on over here? Cool. Always nice when Roxy likes my Thor Ragnarok references on LinkedIn. Anyways, cool. Just checking a few things here. Just checking in on work. Um, I've been traveling a lot, so I haven't been streaming as much, but still trying to. Gonna have a busy October, but we'll still squeeze in some stuff here. Uh, uh, okay, just checking work Slack, seeing what's going on. Cool. Doo-doo. Also, I didn't ask you how your day's going, Roxy. Hope it's okay. You got Daniel a T-shirt that says "Piss off, Ghost." Nice. It's that's still a Thor Ragnarok is like there's not a lot of movies where I watch multiple and multiple times, but Thor Ragnarok is one of them. Just because it's just great action, great comedy is. And sometimes I even like the scene where Hela, his sister's like trying to kill him on the top of that tower in Asgard. Just when like the immigrant song comes on, sometimes I literally just go to that scene or I'll find it on YouTube and I'll just play it from there for like 2 minutes because it just gives me goosebumps and gets me pumped up. So yeah, I'd say it's a pretty decent movie for kids. There's obviously some violence, like, but it's not gore. Like, I don't know. I think most kids nowadays I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are just desensitized from a lot of things, but as long as it's like not guts coming out, I mean, depending on how old the kids are. But anyways, I'm not here to put a rating on whatever people watch, but yeah, Thor Ragnarok is definitely up there. Uh, I know a lot of people gave Thor Love and Thunder some hate, and it's not the best, but I still loved it. It, it was a little over the top in terms of like Thor mocking himself, but I couldn't get over. I was laughing hysterically anytime the screaming goats were yelling when the ship takes off. It's like, anyways. Oh man. Okay. How to get sidetracked? Um, just talk about Thor Ragnarok. Okay. Cool. Yeah, the goats. Exactly. The goats are the goat of that movie. The goats of that movie. But yeah. All right. Cool. So okay. So let's close this. So uh, I think people can kind of get a feel for how MCP remote MCP servers work. And a lot of the clients nowadays, so like VS Code is fully compliant with the MCP spec, as far as I know. Goose as well. Um, yeah, main character goat energy for sure. Cool. So let's go ahead and close this, and I'm gonna open up the project. I can't remember if I already have it saved. Um, if you use VS Code, I like this extension called Project Manager. So here, highly recommend it. Um, basically, what it gives you is, and now I got hiccups. Great. If you do Command Option P, or I guess it would be uh, Control Alt P on non Mac. So basically, you can say like, here's my projects, and you can save them. So instead of doing like Command Open or Control O to open, I already have the list of ones I use pretty frequently. So let's see here. Yeah, I probably should make it a weekly tip. I'll actually put a note for that. It's the thing with the one tip a weeks is sometimes I wonder, like, should I write this? Like, do a million people already know what this is? And I tend to nowadays just lean on the side of I'm just gonna post it because it's happened so many times when I show something or like I'm just like debugging like I am right now, and somebody's like, "What are you doing there?" Or "How'd you do that?" So I think it's still worth it to share them. It's, you know, I'm trying to make them all bangers, but it's definitely tough keeping up the track record. But it's been going pretty well. Like I posted on LinkedIn, which I think you saw, Roxy, or I posted somewhere else too. But it's Matt, like today I'm at 313 subscribers, but about a month and a half ago it was like less than half of that. So it's growing. Anyways, so yeah, the project manager is a good one. Okay, so I do have Swole MCP in here. Cool. So the idea of this one is uh, basically there is this web service. So let's come up to here. WGER. Yeah, it's this one. So I'll drop this in the chat. We'll drop this over here too. So the idea was like, okay, so well, I guess let's go back a bit more actually. So if we come back to, I have this website. I registered a domain like a lot of devs do. So I registered swoledevs.com, and I was gonna do something with it. I don't know what I was gonna do, but obviously something workout related for devs. And so right now it's just a web page, and it's just got this silly animation where it just does a bicep curl with it's just a very basic animation. Um, I haven't really done anything with this, and because I'm doing a lot of stuff with model context protocol right now, I was like, why don't I make an MCP server that is using swoledevs.com? So this could literally be the address of the MCP server. And I thought that would be fun. Or maybe I could make it, I don't know, mcp.swoledevs.com so that I could do other things maybe. Um, but this is where this idea came from. So the idea is, and it's like obviously there's fitness apps out there, and yeah, it's a good domain. Um, like I use my fitness pal, and I don't think it's the greatest, but I use it for logging calories and stuff and like meals. But this was more like this is kind of like a fun thing to be a demo, but it could also potentially be useful. And like my thinking was, um, let people say like, from like ChatGPT or whatever. And like obviously ChatGPT could provide you a workout, but this would be like given existing routines. There's access to like videos and stuff, I think. So like I'd want to be able to through a MCP client. They probably wouldn't be doing this through VS Code. This is kind of like more of like a, I don't want to say real world example, but like a lot of the MCP servers. Oh, you used to use it? Okay. What's that? My Fitness Pal. Um, it's I I don't know. For me, like I'm yeah, My Fitness Pal. It's good. It's not terrible. That's not what I mean. It's just like I'm never gonna buy the premium. I'm never gonna pay for it. Uh, really, all I need is like I'm kind of locked in right now. I'm doing keto right now, which works really well for me. Just dropping some weight and like still weight training. And so it's really just to have a good gauge on how much I'm consuming. I mean, I have a general idea. Oh, thanks, Roxy. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I got injured about a month ago, or maybe a month and a bit. I tore my like abductor, which not fun. And oh yeah, cool. No worries, Roxy. Take care. But anyways, yeah, I tore my right abductor, and one, it's never fun getting injured, but I'm terrible when I get injured. That's typically when I put on weight. So just getting back on track here. And so I'm gonna open up my door here a bit. Nobody's home, and I need some like air circulating. Cool. All right. So yeah. So anyways, the game plan here is really just to make an MCP server that's more real world. Like it's not a dev. It's dev related in the sense it's Swole devs. So like devs would maybe use it, but it's kind of more like a real world MCP where it's not for doing development. Is what I mean. Not that development isn't real world, but kind of put it more in the tier of like I want to book a flight kind of MCP server. Like something where a non-dev would potentially use. So of course, Swole devs doesn't fit that well then, but let's assume devs are just using it in their MCP clients. Cool. I just gotta check something over here. Uh, okay, just reading something in linear here. Just give me a sec here. Cool. All right, that's good. Just gotta check one other thing. Cool. Yeah. Excited to be attending the Commit Your Code. Really pumped for that. All right. One thing I would love is completely unrelated to anything we're talking about, but I love these over ear headphones. They're the Sony XM, what is it? XM3s? I forget what it's, but it's the third generation one. I know they're up to fifth now. They're still really good. I wear them all the time, and like the only thing that is mildly annoying is I have to disconnect and connect to other devices because it's not multi. But regardless of that, I wish there would be. I don't even know how they do it, but like over the ear headphones that prevent sweaty ears somehow, but also bring in good sounds. So if you're out there and you need an idea, There you go. Okay, so yeah, so that's the idea here with Swole MCP is really I just want to be able to access this API, provide routines and like individual exercise. Not going to focus on the nutrition aspect. I know they have some stuff in there. For now, like just to scope it to, like accessing videos and stuff. Like if I go to this URL, it should load up. So let's go and say like video one. Okay, what does this give us? Yeah, okay. So then there's this video. And then if I open this, whoops, wrong one. Where is it? There we go. So this is the video that you could access, and it just shows this looks like um, this is just doing a seated row, but that's kind of the idea. And like maybe all these aren't the best videos. I don't know, but again, this is just me experimenting with this. And honestly, if this particular API didn't cut the mustard, do people even say that still? I feel like a old man saying that, um, but essentially the tools calls would still stay the same. We would just change the underlying API calls to something else. So, anyways, cool beans. All right, where are we at? Bum bum. All right, cool. So let's actually try and do some development now. Thank God for coffee. Had a good workout and got a lot of steps in and a long walk yesterday, but slept a little less, but still feeling pretty energized. Okay, so let's go back to the project and I kind of might rework this. So like I I definitely vibe coded this, so like just full disclosure. Um, you know, I s- I think vibe coding is totally fine. You just got to be critical of it. I think for now though, I got it to do too much. It's like implemented caching and stuff already. I think we should just keep it simple for now. So I'm gonna open up. Um, let's open up Ghosty here. Let's get out of here. I'll zoom this in a second. Okay, and let's get out of here. Clear. All right, let's zoom this in. Okay, and let's go to what folder? Dev, OSS, Swole MCP. And we're going to open up Claude Code, and I've defined some agents in here. Um, yes, I do. Okay. We could do an init in here. But let's go ahead and like let's just look at something here. I created the PRD. Yeah, so let's just get a few things in here. So update package JSON, blah blah blah. And yes, okay. So I'm gonna remove caching for now, and well, it's probably okay. But add error handling and retry logic. Create data. Add comprehensive logging. And this was actually based off of my TypeScript MCP server template, which I can drop. MCP template. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. Feel free to give this a star if you want. But this is what I'm using to build MCP servers in TypeScript line at least. Hey, Charles. Good to see you, my man. Okay, and let's go ahead and drop that over here as well. I have a branch open on this project, and it's to add OAuth support. Um, I personally don't need this because I'm just putting it behind Pomarium, but I'm adding that just so it's a fully complete template. Because not everybody, even though I would encourage them to use something like Pomarium, they might not. So I just want to make it complete with that, but also because I can show the different stages. Not secured, secured with just OAuth, and then secured with OAuth and Pomarium, so that you're think of it as a AI gateway to some degree. Okay. That's not our new logo, Charles, but this is like some stickers we'll be dropping if you happen to be at All Things Open. So cool. All right. So I think this is all good. There's the to do and like what else did we have? Okay, yeah, and I have the PRD. Okay. So I basically just want to rework this. And you know what? I think I'm going to create a new branch. What branch am I on? First version. So let's see here. Let's bring this up. Uh, let's see here. What do I have checked out at the moment? What did I change to the peer? Okay, let's undo that. Okay, that's just me typing. Okay. So let's just go to the main. And I can't remember if I have the PRD in there or not. Okay, I don't. Okay, so let's go back and let's see here. I'm gonna do this again, but with my agent. So let's see here. What do we have in terms of? Yeah, yeah. If you can make it at some point, it'd be awesome. Okay, so let's see. I have nothing in here, really. Get G status. Oh, wait, LS. Oh, yeah, I gotta go to main. Glog. Okay, so yeah, work in progress. Vibe and not verified yet. So, okay, gotcha. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go and revert. Okay, so G reset soft head, and then let's come over here, and then let's just do this. Let's add the PRD and that. Okay, cool. And then let's just reset the rest. I'm gonna kind of start from scratch. Okay, so now we're gonna open up Claude. Okay, and let's do slash init maybe. Actually, there's nothing in the code base yet, so initializing that. So if we do agents, so I have a couple agents I've made, a TypeScript expert, Golang, which not helpful for this project, and code reviewer. And then there's some built-in agents. So let's do this. Let's say implement the at PRD. Um, uh, and follow the to do, but let's do one tool at a time. Let's start off with the exercise tool. Okay, so this is in Cloud Code now. It should grab my TypeScript. Um, Hopefully, it uses my TypeScript agent. We'll see. Okay. Why? I don't see any tools implemented yet. What's it talking about? Yeah, these are changes. Okay, let's see what it's saying. Okay, so server name, yeah, that's good. Okay, that's the API. Default language English, cache, sir. Uh, okay, cool. Yes, that sounds good. And we're just gonna chill and vibe. So the index is where we load the MCP server and we're gonna import the tools. So yes, we want to import them. Okay, so we're gonna scrap. So the MCP server has a default tool in my template, which just echoes whatever you asked. We don't need that. That's literally just to show that the template works. So it's gonna loop through the tools and it's gonna split the name on underscore. Oh, okay, it's just gonna turn it to camel case, I guess. Okay, and then tool dot handler, sure. Okay, description. Yeah, sounds good. And then tools, tool dot name, tool dot description. I'm gonna say no, and I'll just say this is good, but destructure in the map function signature description and name. So we can use shorthand, object shorthand. Okay, this is good. I like to just structure things when possible. It's just cleaner to me. It's not like obviously a showstopper, but uh, this is a preference more. Okay. npm run build. Yes. No. I will start the dev server. Hold tight, buddy. Okay. Let's come over here. And actually, I'll move this over onto this screen. Let's come back here. Okay. And let's do this. Clear. npm run dev. Okay, so the dev server is started. Now I'm connecting this through Pomerium to test it. Or I guess we could do it. Well, we don't have to do that right away, I guess. Okay. Let's see here. The dev server is running. Okay, so let's say yes. So this should, okay, that's good. It's supposed to return that. Cool. Okay, so we're gonna do, let's see this. What do we get back? Okay. The session is initialized. Now let me test the search exercise tool. First, let me get the session ID from the response. Okay. Okay, let me try a different approach to test tools. Let me check the logs to see if there are any issues. Well, we can go see the logs. Let's string this up. The logs seem fine. The logs seem fine, just no tool calls yet. Okay. The first exercise tool and full Swole MCP server update from the PRD. Server's now ready for MCP clients to connect. Okay, well, let's see. I won't connect it to Primarum just yet, but what port are we running on? 3000. What port am I on? 3000. Yeah, okay. So let's port forward and let's do 3000. Cool. And let's do port visibility public. Continue. Okay, let's copy that. Oh, I didn't want it in simple browser, but sure. Continue. All right, yeah, cannot get, sure. Should be MCP. There we go. That's good. We don't need simple browser though. So let's do add server. Let's give the URL. We'll swole dash MCP dev. We'll make it global. Okay, it's running. So that's good. Now let's come over here. What exercise tools are available? All right. That's good. Let's just go check socials. Bum, bum. What's going on over there? Okay, cool. All right. Let's see here. Boom. Nice. Okay. So based on the Swole MC project, here are the available tools that can be used by the MCP server. Okay. This didn't make a tool call. This is just, I think it's just aware of the project. But let's see here. So like find me a biceps exercise. Hopefully this makes a tool call. We can close this. The server's running. Let's see, is it calling anything? I don't see it calling anything. Hmm. Okay. No, I skip. So it's not making the tool call. Why is it not calling my tool? Asking for an exercise doesn't seem to call my tool, my MCP server. All right. So post tools. I don't need a session though. Flibber to Gibberting, whatever that is. Thinking. Um, no, it's properly configured. Let's go back here and see. Uh, I gotta shrink some stuff down here. Let's go back to regular size for a second. That should be okay. Let's close the sidebar. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So we got the index. Okay, I want to see the actual index. Okay, so we get the server, Swole tools, input schema. Okay, hold on a sec. We're gonna put a debugger. Think that's the right one, and then let's just save. Okay, that's not the right one. Attached node process. Maybe this one. Nope. Which one is it? Save. Why is it not starting the debugger? Okay, let's do this. Clear. Let's just do the debugger straight from here. Okay, there we go. So that's good. Interesting. So it never hits here. Get config, new MCP server. Interesting. Okay, so let's see here. Yes, yes. Oh, you know what? Let's see here. Why are you not liking that? Create text results. Okay, why does this not hit? Let's do new MCP server there. Interesting. What does it die for? Okay, it looks like that never registers, but yeah. I think this is an async issue. Okay, sure. Oh man, is it really that? Swoletools.ts. Uh, let's see here. The issue is that Vite is building everything into a single index.js, so the separate module imports won't work at runtime. We're in dev mode using Node with strip type stripping. Get server is running, but this issue is likely swole tools is undefined or empty. Yeah, okay. So let's just look at this. Let's get rid of actually let's go to this and those are all TS. Okay, that looks okay. So let's do this. Let's just delete it. It's gonna complain about it and I'm gonna re-import. There we go. So let's see here. No, wonder what it is. So if something's dying in here. Let's do this. Okay, it's when it gets the config. Uh, okay, that makes sense. I'm just being lazy and haven't wasn't really debugging. So, okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. 11. What are we in here? Okay. That should be good. Um, right. Catch error. Oh, we're getting config twice. That shouldn't break anything, but let's see here. So if we go in here, if not config, otherwise return config. Okay, we got a config, showtime. Okay, and then boom, 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 and then it just dies. Cache is canceled. It's not causing errors, but it's redundant. We should either, well, are we even using the config at the beginning here? Maybe I should have stayed with what I have. We got config. Oh yeah, so we need the server name. Okay, and if we go, okay, actually, where is get server called? Oh, okay, yeah. Try. Okay, MCP handler async. Okay, so we're loading up here. This is where I should be. All right, let's do this. Interesting. So the okay, so it's never called. So this is MCP handler. Okay, that's normal. Okay, it's normal it doesn't call it on the beginning, but okay, that makes sense. Okay, so now we just say here, get me a bicep exercise. It should, no, why is it doing that? Oh, wait a minute. Is my tool not added? Let's see here. Uh, oh, my tool is not in here. GitHub, Playwright. Okay, that explains it. Okay, so it's starting up. So it was right. So let's see. User configuration, Swole MCP. Okay, start. Okay, that's good. Okay, okay. Now we're in business. It was not running, so let's do this. Skip and let's do new. All right, get me a biceps exercise. Now it should make the tool call. Come on, buddy. The MCP server is running though. Shows, okay, start. Show configuration. Yeah. Show output. Okay, that's running. Okay, it's there. So why? Something silly is going on here. Okay, so that is running now. Let's, you know what? Is the tool not added? Why does it say it's running, but I don't see the tools? There's a untest. Why is it not in there? Maybe I have to register. Pretty sure I registered it, but here, let's do this. Let's just do it again. Do it again. Add server. Okay, sure. Swole. Okay, it's running. Uh, what did it change here? No, undo. Let's stop this. Skip. Okay. Yeah, I don't need stop, stop, stop. Okay, let's try this again. Now, let's see that it's in the tools, hopefully. Why are you not showing up? Hmm. Because the dev 2 one is there. What doesn't it like about this one? It's valid. I don't get it. Let's go try this in Goose for a sec. I don't know why in VS Code it's not picking it up, but let's do Goose. Goose is loose. Let's go to extensions. Let's add a custom Swole HTTP endpoint add extension. Okay, it's activated. So get me a biceps exercise. Watch it work in here. Oh, I need to add a description to the MCP server, maybe. But still, come on, Goose. I don't think it's going to call my MCP server, and I'm very curious why. Uh, oh, wait, did I? Is it something silly? It should be public. Yeah, it's public. Okay. All right. What you're not liking, Goose? You're having the same issue as VS Code, so it's definitely me. Um, let's do MCP inspector. I always forget the syntax. Okay. Okay, yeah. Goose is still thinking to. Oh, is it because I have a debug statement? No, it's running. Things are running, so it's not that. Let's do this. Yes. Bum, bum, bum. One of those days where I guess things just aren't working. It happens. All right. Let's do streamable HTTP, and then let's get our URL. Copy and MCP connect. Okay, list tools. Cannot read properties of null. Interesting. Okay. What doesn't it like? Let's do this. Let's go back to here. What's this one? Okay, sure. Let's kill this one. Let's open up a new one. Let's do npm run dev. Okay, it's running. And that's right. Reconnect, disconnect. Sure. Hey, how's it going, we Reds 5? Good to see you. Bum, bum. Boop. Just working on some MCP server stuff and currently stuck. Initialize, fine. Tools. Why is it saying? Okay. All right. Let's see here. Uh, the MCP inspector is not finding the tools. I think it's the way this is implemented. Let's see here. Let's get rid of that debugger. The issues on line 217. Some tools have input schema. Instead of a proper Zod schema, the user expects all input schema properties to be Zod schemas. but an empty object. Oh, yeah, yeah. Why didn't that error though? All right, flambeing. All right, now let's try this again. All right, let's close that. Let's clear. No, restart. Shouldn't have to restart the dev server, but sure. That's right. Let's reload there. Connect. Come on, buddy. Connect. There we go. Still giving an error. Okay. Get this type error when mapping over things. Why is it the shape? Sure. It's not right. I think this was too fancy. The type error is here. Keep undulating. Uh, yeah, I already built something for Dev 2. We read 5. It's a Dev 2 MCP server. Now I'm working on a MCP server for just getting workouts and exercises. I was just showing Dev 2 before as like just explaining stuff. So let's see here. The type error is because Toolim is mixed types. Some are Zod objects, some are not shape properties. Uh, maybe better to explicitly load the tools instead of mapping over them. Mapping's cool, but it's just a little harder to read. Yeah, it's pretty neat. We read 5. Um, I'm just having not a bad day, but this isn't going as planned so far. So, okay, what's going on here? No, I didn't want the array. That's not what I meant. Get exercise detail. Sure, let's just try that for now. But now things are more broken. Great. Okay, let's just keep this simple. Yeah, I'm gonna reset this, I think. Let's do this. Where you at? Oh yeah, that makes sense. So it's not important. Ported. Okay. register tool, input schema, annotations, and callback. Yeah. The callbacks have type errors now. I don't know if there's any. Unless that's what it's saying. Yeah, it's expecting the actual. Yeah, import the tools. Okay, sure. See, that's fine. And then we could do, what about this? We go to the exercise detail tools. Yeah, so it's got everything there. Tools, sure. Okay, it's getting better. But there's a lot of stuff here. So, like, for example, if we go back to close others, like this here, we should just be able to spread the rest here. So let's see here. When you register the tool, it should be, I guess we could map. I just want to do a test here. So let's do this const equals handler. And then let's do this. Okay, that's good as expected. And then we could do this. And then this should work here. Why are types input schema incompatible? Okay, let's go to this. Let's copy the schema. Or let's do this. Let's do input schema, rest, and then I'm going to do this. There's that. And let's just do this. Okay, so that's okay. So it really is just the input schema. So what is wrong with it? So like, let's do this. Let's grab this and say, yeah, okay, let's leave that. It's going to complain about the input schema, but let's go to here and let's go to that. And it should be, Now the problem is it should be a z dot object. So, but if we come back here, this should be fine now. Yeah. Okay. So register tool, we have all of that and then the handler. So we could do this. We could say dot 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 tool info, and I want your revenge. I want your love. I don't want to rebound. Okay, so that would work, and then we could map over that. Now, obviously, this is only one, but so why is the server okay? So it should be. Let's do this. Let's put it back. Okay. Let's put it back to what it was, and let's put this in here. Okay. Now, why is in at tools? Let's go to get server tool. Okay. Okay. So let's see here. Input schema. Yeah, this is a Zod object, but in there, it expects input schema to be a raw object, not a Zod object. The problem is on line 151 in Swole tools, and then okay. And why is it the raw shape? All right. Okay. So, okay, the SDK expects a raw shape. Okay, that's fine. Um, but for my actual tool, not where it's registered, it should still be the Zod object. I don't think so. I think that's just got to be the raw. For your actual tool handlers, you should keep the Zod object because type inference, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So if we come back here and come back here, okay. So this should be input schema dot shape. Okay. So that's good. So then essentially, let's go back to the map then. So let's do this. What is this? No, I don't. There. Okay. So we cracked the case, but let's do this. Server tools dot map tool, and then let's do this. Boom, and then we could do that. Sure, that won't work. So let's do this, and we'll say, uh, what did we have before? We had handler. Oh yeah, okay. Handler input schema and tool info. Okay. Server tools.map, and then we'll just do this. Tool info, input schema handler. Okay. Okay. That's good. Now we just have to tools. And here, Swole tools. Okay, that should work. Oh, yeah, this. Really? That should be good. What did I have before? Let's go back real quick. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Come on, buddy. Okay, it's just tool info and handler. Okay. Where you at? Okay, tool info. Cool. Let's go handler. Okay, cool. All right. I think we're gonna stop there for today, and we'll see you in the next one. I got unblocked, but was stuck for a bit there. But we'll see you in the next one, peeps.